Hello, welcome to another video. In this section, you will learn about if else, elif, nested if else, shorthand of if and else if statement. There are some situations in real life when we need to make some decisions, and based on these decisions, we decide what should we do next. Similar situations arises in programming also, where we need to make some decisions, and based on these decisions we will execute the next block of code. Decision making statements in programming languages decides the direction of the flow of program execution. So now let's discuss about if statement. If statement is the simplest decision making statement. If the Boolean expression evaluates to true, then the block of code inside the if statement will be executed. If the Boolean expression evaluates to false, then the block of code inside the if statement will not be executed. The set of code after the end of the if statement will be executed if it will be false. Now look at the flowchart of if statement. The if statement is used to test a particular condition, and if the condition is true, it executes a block of code known as if block. The condition of if statement can be any valid logical expression which can be either evaluated to true or false. In this picture you can see that if radius is greater than 0, it will calculate the area, otherwise it will go outside of the block of code, that is outside of the if statement. Now we will understand if statement with coding. So here you can see the syntax of if statement. First you have to use the if keyword, then you have to specify the condition, then give a colon symbol, and inside the if block you have to write the statement, and remember that you have to give the indentation in a proper way. Here I am using spaces to give the indentation, and you can see the statement 2 is outside the if statement because it's not maintaining the indentation. If the condition is true, if block will consider only statement 1 to be inside its block. Note that there is a space before the statement 1, so this statement 1 is a part of if block. Statement 2 is outside the block because indentation is different, so the statement 2 is not part of the if block. Now let's take an example to understand in a better position. Now I am changing this statement to x, and if you want to write more number of statement inside the same block, then you should give the same indentation like this. Then again press 2 and again statement 3 like this. You can give any number of statement inside the if block. As you know, Python uses indentation to identify a block, so the block under an if statement will be identified as shown in the example. So now let's take an example. So here you can see that example, we declared a variable pi 3.14 and radius 2.1, and we have given here one condition. If the radius is greater than 0, then it should calculate the area of circle and then print the circle of the area. So here this is our condition, and you can see that we have the same number of indentations. So this is very much easy. If you want to compile and run the program, just click the run button and you can see the area of the circle is 13.8474. Let's take another example. Here we have a variable. Let's say we have a variable I equal to 10, and we are giving one condition that if the value of I is greater than 20, then print that 10 is less than 20. Otherwise we don't want to print 10 is less than 20. So here you can see that here we have a value 10, and if we'll execute it, it will show that I am not in if. So but if I'll maintain the same indentation here, make it in same line and then run, you will see nothing will come, or this statement will not execute. So if you run again, you can see the same output. So that's it for today. In this video, you have just learned that what is decision making and syntax of if statement, flowchart of if statement, and example of if statement. In the next video, we will discuss more concept about decision making. If you want to take a small note of indentation, so take a note and we will meet again in the next video. Indentation in Python. For the ease of programming and to achieve simplicity, Python does not allow the use of parentheses for the block level code. In Python, indentation is used to declare a block if two statements are at the same indentation level, then they are part of the same block. Generally, 4 spaces are given to indent the statement, which are a typical amount of indentation in Python. Indentation is the most used part of Python language since it declares the block of code. All the statements of one block are indented at the same level indentation.